You know, you very rarely hear the term Italian track and field superstar in the modern era, although it's been good Italians have run in recent years. But no one compares this guy. The Arrow of the South, as his nickname called him, was speed burning. At 200 meters, he was pretty well unbeatable when he's on his game and held a world record for a number of years. But Pietro Mennea, born in Barletta, Italy, June 28, 52, again stands out as one of the most important track and field stars of the 70s and 80s. Now, he raced in a 100 and 200, winning three Olympic medals in his career. Now, the idea about Pietro, he used his normal sized body, 5'11", 175 pounds, to weed up the track. Now, he was most successful in the 200, winning gold at the 80 Moscow Olympics over Alan Wells and the Eastern Bloc, and setting a world record months before at 19.72 seconds in September 75. This record stood for almost 17 years, the longest duration in event's history, and is still the European record, or as my dad used to call it, the white man's record. He's the only male sprinter who has qualified at 4 consecutive 200-meter Olympic finals from 72 to 84. Now, Mennea was born in Barletta, of course, in the Italian region of Puglia, started his long international athletic career in 68 when he took part in a junior race in Termoli, and he was registered in Avis Barletta Club. In 71, he won his first of his 14 Italian outdoor titles in 100 and 200. He went on to win 2 indoor titles in 60 and 400, along with 5 Mediterranean Games gold medals in 100 and 200. He competed at Europeans with a third place in a 4x100 100 relay. He made his Olympic debut at the 72 Munich Games, where he made the final of 200, the strongest event. He finished with a bronze behind Valery Borzov and American Larry Black. 3 more consecutive Olympic 200-meter finals would follow later in his career, the longest run, no pun intended, ever in an event. And for 74 Europeans, he claimed the 200 in front of his home crowd in Rome, while also placing second behind Borzov in the 100 and the 4x100. After some poor performances in the 76 Olympic season, he decided to skip the Olympics, but when the Italian public protested, Mennea went to Montreal. He finished 4th in the 200 and 6th in the 4x100. In 77, he finished second in the World Cup 200, where a photo finish separated him from Clancy Edwards of the States. He successfully defended his European 200 title in 78, but displayed his capabilities in 100 meters, by also winning that event in Prague. Now, 200-meter world record, again, one of the greatest races of all time. In 79, Mennea placed first in 100 meters and second in 200 behind Alan Wells of Great Britain and the European Cup, and he was chasing Wells literally for that whole season. Later in the year, when he was 27, he took part in the World University Games, which were held on the high-altitude track of Mexico City. On September 12, 79, he won the 200 with a time of 1972. This clocking set a new world record, beating Tommy Smith's time of 1983, set at the same track 11 years before 1968 at the Summer Games. The record held for almost 17 years before Michael Johnson broke it at the 96 U.S. Olympic trials, still to know if he was on drugs or not. As of November 2020, only 17 athletes have recorded a better time over 200 meters than Mennea. His time stands as the current European record. He also holds the low-altitude world record 1996 from 1980 to 283, setting his hometown of Barletta. On August 17, 80, he became the first sprinter to run under 20 seconds for the 200 meters 3 times. Now, entering the 80 Games in Moscow, he was a clear favorite of Olympic gold, in part because of the United States boycott. In the final of the 200, he faced reigning champion Don Corey and Alan Wells. Mennea drew the outermost lane with Wells, who won the 100, in lane 7 to his inside. Wells got out to a blistering fast start and closed on Mennea within the first 50. They approached the straight with Wells more than a 2-minute lead on Mennea, with Corey in second and Silvio Leonard hampered by his lane 1 draw in fourth. However, in the straight, Mennea gained ground and passed Corey and Leonard, and at the very end of the race, just beating Wells, winning the gold by a mere 0.02 seconds. Later in the Games, he was the anchorman in the Italian bronze medal winning 4x400 relay team. He also competed in 100, reaching the semifinals. Now, in 83 in Casino, he clocked a manual 14.8 seconds on 150 meters, a world best time that he held until it was bettered by Usain Bolt in Manchester in 2009. Even the match race between Michael Johnson and Donovan Bailey didn't beat his record. Now Mennea, again known as the heir of the South, then announced his retirement, allowing himself more time for his studies. However, he came back from retirement soon after and won a bronze in the 200 inaugural world title event in Helsinki. A year later, he competed in his fourth consecutive Olympic 200-meter final, becoming the first person to do so. The defending champion finished in seventh, and retired from athletics for a second time afterwards. Again, Mennea made a comeback and competed at his fifth Olympics in Seoul, where he was the flag bearer. He qualified for the quarterfinals at 200, but decided to withdraw from competition and did not take part into the next round. Now, he admitted he did use human growth hormone once during the last year of his career. In an interview to an Italian newspaper in 1987, he told that in 1984, during the Summer Games in LA, an American psychotherapist proposed a doping treatment to him. Back in Italy, he tried 2 injections of human HGH, but the crisis of conscience he got was so important that it induced him to retire from activity. I realized that in my life I was looking for everything except for that. Although the usage of substances is banned in modern-day competition, it was not banned at the time by the AAF. After his career, he worked as a lawyer and a sports agent. He was a member of the European Parliament from 1999 to 2004, elected on a list of the Democrats, but failed his attempt to be re-elected. He also lobbied for independent doping testing. Unfortunately, he passed away on 21st March 2031 in a Rome hospital from pancreatic cancer. He was only 60. On the day of his death, the Italian Railways announced that the new superfast train Frecciarossa ETR 1000, entering service in 2014, would carry his name. Now, achievements: Europeans, 6 in the 200 and 3rd in the 4x100 relay. Olympics, Munich, 3rd in the 200, 8th in the relay. Europeans, 2nd in the 100, 1st in the 200, 2nd in the 4x100 relay. Olympic Games in Montreal, 4th in the 200 and 6th in the relay. European indoors in 78, he was 1st in the 400 meters. European Championships in Prague, 1st in the 100, 1st in the 200, championship record, 5th in the relay and 5th in the 4x400 relay. Olympics in 1980, 100 meters, made to the semifinal, 14th. Olympic Games 200, gold, bronze in the 4x400 relay. 82 Europeans, 6 in the 4x400 relay. 83 Worlds, 3rd in 200 and 2nd in the 4x100 relay. Olympics in 84, 7 in the 200, 4th in the 4x100 relay and 5th in the 4x400. And in the 88 Games, 40th qualifier, 200 meters, but did not start. Records: 10:01 100 meters, 1972 200, 32.23 300 meters, and 45.87 400. Now, in May 2012, he was named an honorary citizen of Dulis Vanjodako. Furthermore, President of Albania, Barmir Topi, awarded Mennea the Medal of Gratitude with citation for value and contribution as a former world record holder in athletics and a major figure of the foundation Pietro Mennea, created to help sports and research. Now, he's also in the Fix Hall of Fame, and an asteroid called Pietro Mennea 73861 was named in his honor. The official naming citation was published by the Mir Planet Center on January 31st, 2018. And that is more than apt, because Pietro was out of this world. Tremendous athlete. I had the pleasure of watching him. And his chase of Alan Wells is, I forget the nickname he called Wells, the Devil or something like that. He was chasing him. And that's what you need to be motivating yourself. But if somebody would have told me Pietro Mennea would be chasing out Alan Wells for a gold medal in the 80 Olympics, because the Americans were always there, I think that's made the Moscow Olympics more interesting, because there was no Americans. What would the world be like with no Americans involved with their drug-addled, track and field athletes? So Pietro Mennea, I think he's a top 10 athlete in athletics history. That's my personal opinion. For white athletes in track and field, for the shorter distances, he's pretty well up there. He's got to be top 3 for sure. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing here with our Olympic-style podcast, let us know what a like, comment, subscribe, or share.